For number 15, we need to simplify this radical expression, and it's often useful to look at the number part under here and then the variable part. So let's go ahead and break that up. Square root of 24 times the square root of y to the 10th power. The square root of 24 can be broken down. For those of you that like the perfect square method, we can break this down into the square root of 4 times the square root of 6. That would be 4 times 6, or 24. And then this perfect square is just 2, and we've got a root 6 hanging out there. If you really wanted to, what you could do as well is use your factor tree method, break this down into its prime factors. Doesn't matter what you pick. Let's say it was 8 and 3. 3 is a prime number, so we leave it. And 8 is 4 times 2. And then 4 is 2 times 2. And so you can see that you have a pair of 2's hanging out here, so 1 can come out. So those guys are good. And then the 2 and the 3 don't have any pairs, so they have to stay underneath, and 2 times 3 would be 6. So either way, it doesn't really matter whichever way you'd like to do it. This y to the 10th right here, we could go ahead and we could, if we wanted to, write this out as y squared, or the square root of y squared times the square root of y squared, and so on until we wind up with the correct number of exponents. And this is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 10. So we've got this done correctly here. And this is going to be just y times y times y times y times y. So if we look and clean this up here, and by the way, these are all outside of the radical now. We went ahead and did the square root. We've got 5 of them together. So we're going to write that right in the middle. We're going to write the number part first, then y to the 5th, and then the square root. And here is your final answer. As a shortcut, once you take care of the square root of 24, and that's 2 root 6, if we want to look at this y to the 10th power, you'll notice that even though we don't write it here, there's a little 2 on the ledge hanging out. And what you can do is you can take this 10 and divide it by 2. And that will give you the exponent that should appear for the base that's underneath. So in other words, if we change this, this would be 2 root 6 times y to the 10 over 2 power. And 10 over 2 is 5, so we can go ahead and bring that out to the front, and then the square root of 6 needs to stay underneath. And we get the exact same thing that we had before.